Hi, hello again, and welcome back to my journey from normal to Norway. Again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lauren. And I've decided today to just kind of jump right into it, into the vulnerability. And as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about confidence today. Yay, everybody's favorite subject. Again, I have a cheat sheet of bullet points I wanted to talk about in this video, so, you'll see me looking over to that from time to time. So I'll start off by ripping the band-aid off and saying I have not been a confident person since the summer between 4th and 5th grades. And if any of you are not from the US or just your schooling is different, that means around 10 years old. So over 2/3 of my life, I have not been a confident person. And that was the summer, not coincidentally, that I gained some weight, that I became what I would believe to be overweight. And since that time, I have been what I call a self-bully. I have been the meanest person to myself out of everybody in my life, and that's pretty awful. It kind of sucks to say that out loud, but it's the truth of what it's been. Part of my self-bullying has led me to believe that I'm not worthy. I believe that I'm not worthy of love, of success, of happiness, of even people's time and attention. And because of that, I haven't pursued the things I really wanted. Career stuff, relationship stuff, just all the things that I've really wanted in life. I haven't really fully gone after because I didn't believe that I was worthy of achieving them. I didn't believe that they would ever happen for me. And part of that sucks, that I'm sure I'll talk about in later videos, is that I have gotten to a point where I just assume that guys are not going to be attracted to me. So that kind of affects my interactions. I wanted to say interactions with guys a lot. It kind of sucks going into those interactions just assuming that they would never be attracted to me, and that has had effects on me just in terms of how I talk to them, if I happen to be complimented by one of them, how I receive those compliments. It's not the best thing, not something I'm proud of. I kind of turn it into a joke, and so anyway, that sucks, and I'll definitely talk more about that in another video. I got to a point where I found this term in a Brene Brown book, who I love you, Brene Brown. But she wrote a term in one of her books called life paralysis. Not called, it just is. That term she wrote, life paralysis. And I really, really related to that. When I read it, I was like, oh my God, that's me. That's me. I'm living in life paralysis. Actually not living, just existing. Time is just passing me by, days, weeks, months, years even, just flying by. And I feel like I kind of see people around me living and doing their thing and doing things they want to do. And I'm just, waking up and breathing in and out and then going back to sleep. And that's not a fun way to live. It's really not. And I would say that I think all of this is a result of me putting my worth in my weight. So going back to that summer between 4th and 5th grades, when I went from being what I thought to be normal to being what I thought to being overweight. It's led to all sorts of crap in my life, all the stuff that I've already listed and talked about, because I put my worth there. But I'm done with that. I've decided it's over. I'm no longer going to put my worth in my weight. I am choosing to believe that I am as deserving of love, of happiness, of success, of pursuing my dreams as anybody else, despite what I look like. And the thing is, I don't even look bad. I've bought into the lies that the world has told me, that there's something not okay with how I look. That because, I don't look a certain way, or I don't wear certain sizes in clothing, that there's something wrong with me. And that's ridiculous. That's horrible. So I am done with that. I am not going to be thinking like that anymore. But that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. One of the things my therapist told me a couple of years ago that really, really stuck with me was that it takes 3 positive thoughts to neutralize a negative thought. Not even to erase it, overcome it, just to neutralize it. And so if you think about, 32 years worth of negative thoughts about myself, that's a lot to overcome. That's a lot to adjust. But I am working on it. I am putting the work in. One of the things I actually do that I have done for some years now is every single day to write down in a notebook one thing I like about myself. And for some of you that might sound like so easy. Like why would anybody even spend time doing that? But for some of you who you might relate with me, you know that that's excruciating. That feels impossible. Actually, when I started doing that several years ago at this point, it felt impossible. And there would be nights that I would sit down and open up the notebook and go to write something down and not be able to think of something for a long time. And again, that sucks to kind of say that out loud. But it's again the truth. There were some days where I literally had to spend minutes, many minutes, coming up with just one thing that I liked about myself. But if you are like me, and if you do relate to that seeming like a hard thing or an impossible thing, I want to tell you that it gets easier. You just keep with it, keep up with that exercise, writing down one thing every single day, and it will get easier. It will get better. So I hope that that is encouraging to you. Let's see, what do I have written down next? Yeah, again, gonna be vulnerable here. I am now the heaviest I have ever been in my life. But I will also say I feel the best about myself that I can remember feeling in a long time, in maybe those 22 years since that summer between 4th and 5th grades. And that's really cool. That's really exciting. I've put in a lot of work the last few years in terms of how I think about myself and how I see myself and where I'm assigning my worth. And so it's kind of cool to have that feeling of where I've thought so many horrible things about myself based off of my appearance for so many years, that I now feel pretty good about myself. I'm still striving towards good health. That is very important in life. And so there are some changes that I need to make in my life towards that. And I know that. But it now has to do with health. It doesn't have to do with my thoughts about myself, with my level of worthiness that I assign to myself. And so I guess I'll just say that I'm growing every single day. And that's the best that you can hope for. I feel like I am growing away from assigning my self-worth based on my weight. And I'm growing towards living every single moment of my life, because that's what I want to do. I want to actually live and fully experience every single moment of my life, all of the ups, all of the downs, everything in between. And part of that goal is I want to love myself through all of that. Truly love myself through all of that. And again, for some of you that might sound like an easy, simple thing to do, but for some of you who maybe are a little more like me, that sounds hard. That sounds maybe impossible. But I believe that it is possible, and I am choosing to live into that. I am choosing every time any of those negative thoughts come into my mind to shift, to go back to believing that it is possible to live and to love myself through every single moment of my life. That is the goal for me, and I hope that for some of you, you'll choose that to be your goal as well. And I guess that's it. I guess that's all I'll say at this point, at least, about confidence. I hope that this has been, encouraging to some of you. I hope it's been relatable for sure. And I hope that it's been inspiring, because that's what's happening here. I'm trying to better myself, and I hope that through sharing honestly and vulnerably that it can lead you to do the same as well. Okay, yeah, so wrapping up, again, if you feel like it, if you want to, go ahead and like this video by pressing that thumbs up button. You can comment. I would love to hear from you. You can subscribe sure, that'd be awesome. It's really cool to see that I already have some subscribers. That's pretty awesome. But again, like I said last time, more than that, I really ask you to share my videos, to share my story, especially if there's somebody in your life who you think would relate to this, who you think could benefit from hearing this, who you think could feel better about themselves through hearing about this. Please, please, please share this with those people. I want to speak to them. I want to connect with them. So yeah, that is it for now. And again, I'll just say until next time, Hada.